back in June, my old band Ritual Device did a reunion concert or two, actually three, and it was really fun. We brushed off the old songs, and I had to kind of relearn some things, and really I had to practice a lot. It was challenging material, and it's hard to go back in time. Going back to how I used to play in my late teens and early 20s was challenging. So I sat down and tried to practice, if not every day, almost every day. I tried to run through scales and just run the songs more than anything. And it just reminded me of how fun it was to just start playing and just start riffing and jamming and writing and playing power chords and things. So instead of repeating myself from the past, where I've played just performance pieces, I've done some classical, maybe some Latin demonstrations, or some folk or acoustic finger style. I think this time I'm just going to demonstrate some hard rock, just some post-punk, post-metal rock, some riffing and ways to expand your songwriting and expand your sound. So I'm going to go through every song off the album and how I wrote most of those songs, and how some of the ideas and influences that went into that. So the album is called Henge, and the first song is called Shift, and it's this big kind of fuzzy, just big chords, and from the get-go it's just a power chord, but then it's an F sharp, and then I throw in the open G string, which gives it a minor second, which gives it a real mysterious sound. And you hear the difference. So it starts like that, and then I worked in these octaves, which I've always loved octaves, and I was really into Jimi Hendrix and Third Stone from the Sun, things like that. I feel like maybe around this time I was listening to a lot of Cure, and maybe A Night Like This would be a song that influenced this riff. So there's that one. The second song is called Charlie Jones, and that was cool because those were some sort of tritone riff ideas. I think I was jamming with my friend Clint earlier, maybe the day before, the week before or something, and we had these cool tritone riffs and ideas. And then we were listening to a practice tape, and our drummer Eric had a really cool beat. It's like pop 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 pop, and I was like, we were like, this is great. So I came up with a chord progression around the drum beat, and accented parts. It's real punchy like that. And one thing about this song is it has a reverse power chord sort of. So instead of doing the low stuff the whole time, it goes the upper three notes, sort of Jimi Hendrix style again. I was listening to a lot of Hendrix around then, and it's a lot different than it's complementary. So it's cool to throw that in. And then later on, there's no guitar solos in most of these songs, but I did like to throw in some interesting little intricate guitar riffs. And this goes to a scale. It goes to a minor scale up here. And instead of just playing the minor scale, I sharped the second to last note. I don't even know why. It might have been a mistake. know. I sharped one of the middle notes. This note, and so instead of going, and it created this mystery, like it has a mysterious sound. A little trill, kind of goes a long way, and it's fun. You know, it's better, maybe better than just holding the note if you trill it. So the little mystery scale, you sharp one note, you change one note, and it kind of becomes your own fingerprint. So try that sometime. The next song was called Sucker, and this I was listening to. I wasn't even really listening to it, but sometimes me and my friend Keith would jack around with these Red Hot Chili Pepper riffs, and they had a song that came out, and it was, the bass line was like, and I think I sampled that with my old Digitech sampler, and it chopped it off, and it made it sound like this. It made it sound real industrial, and it kind of went. So I kind of built that song around that idea. It sounded cool. It just sounded cool. So we had this industrial. Added in kind of a grungy chord there, and that was the song. The bridge. On the bridge, I came up with this little call and response, and so there was a part that goes. So this kind of bass note, low guitar stuff, and then I overdid the high guitar. And then you put the two together, and it was sort of like. And of course, I had Jerry, the bass player, play the low part, and then I played the high part, and it was cool. So. That's a neat idea. And then looking for an outro, a way to close a song, I came up with these big minor chords. I was listening to a lot of Susie and the Banshees and The Cure and stuff like that. And I'm playing the minor chord upside down, so here it's right side up. Like Stairway to Heaven, upside down. I was listening to a lot of stuff like Happy House by Susie and the Banshees, and those chords might even be in that song for all I know. But so expanding out of, it could have been just a simple grunge riff, but it became something else, and so that's kind of cool. Have your songs have direction. So. Let's see, the next song, there's a song called Hate Song where I had this idea, playing a drone note, an open string, and then bending the high octave to match the pitch. Which is a really neat sound. And, I kind of probably got that from the Beatles, like Norwegian Wood or something, or maybe Led Zeppelin, Dazed and Confused, where anytime you bend the notes, you get a neat sound. But if you can play that against an open string, and I think I had the high E open also. So I'm bending into the chord, and it just has a kind of a cool slinky sound. It kind of sounds like Donovan or something, so it's cool. So that was Hate Song. At the time I was listening to a lot of Death Cult, like things like Ghost Dance, and Horse Nation, of course, was a lot like the instrumental on Henge. But the song Christians has this really cool guitar part, so I kind of wanted something like that. exclusive little parts. It happens one time, and then you never come back to it, and it becomes a bridge or something different. So let's see, moving on. Our bass player, my friend Jerry, had some really great riffs too, and he was sort of a geezer butler, sort of, you know, just classic riffs that were so catchy and would stick with you. Just, they weren't complicated, but they didn't have to be, because they were, you know, you hear something like, it's a neat riff, or like, yeah, that's an incredible riff. So I would try to build on those. I had this part with these octaves again. You know, or maybe you cut the time signature from 4/4 to 3/4. Things like that. There was a kind of a mystery scale riff, and that's at the end of the song too, that I've snuck in, and let me see if I can remember the scale. It's tricky. It's like, and it fits right on top of this critical moment in the song, and just gives it some color, you know. And I think that's another one that has these big Susie and the Banshees minor chords. Yeah, it sounds like Christy in her Happy House or something like that. I Want Me, this was the last song on the album, and I just, my friend, it was Charlie and Brad, I think, they gave me a tape of Led Zeppelin live in Copenhagen, 1971, and it just blew me away. Like, I get chills just thinking about it. Like, there's a version of Four Sticks where it has a completely different intro, and the intro, the song I Want Me that we wrote is a lot like that. You can tell it's influenced by that, and it's in an odd time signature. It's in 5/4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it goes to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. And so it creates this really interesting sound, kind of a Moroccan, Eastern sound, and that's what I was playing at the beginning of Recital. Some riffs from there. Scale exercises, like, these are just things I would practice, but then they would come out in your playing. So you want to practice scales, because then suddenly you have these little things that are embedded in your fingers. So that was the last song, and then there were a couple other little things, but yeah. So you start simple, and then if you want to expand out of your riff, you want to expand out of that, then start adding some big chords, some minor chords, or some extended chords, or some little scales, some bend some notes, maybe sharpen note. Go out of the box a little bit, and you can really inject some color into your music and songwriting. But that's it was fun to go back through and kind of relearn all those, and they really, just playing those songs reminded me of how much I loved playing when I first started. I just wanted to write all the time, write riffs, and so have fun with it. And that's the end of the lecture, but I hope it gives you some ideas. Carry on.